Okay, we will go with our supplementary text today. That is 5 was over. That is footprints without feet. And now we are coming to the 6th one. That is the making of a scientist. Here in this poem, in this lesson, there is a scientist who is making experiments of butterflies to know about the variety of butterflies. Understood? So now we go straight to the lesson. Richard Wright has received the Sales Scholar Award and the Sovereign Pluck Award for biochemistry and molecular biology. So he is getting the awards for biochemistry and molecular biology. Biochemistry and molecular biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. So he is taking the title Butterflies. Under the research of butterflies, he is being awarded the biochemistry and molecular biology. Experiments were conducted and he has awarded, the award has been given. Now we are going to the lesson. How did a book become a turning point in Richard L. Wright? He is the great scientist, Richard L. Wright. How did his mother help him? So who was the helper behind his all the success? Who is the helper? A mother. At the age of 22, a former Scot of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. So all the bodies are made up of cells. Richard H. L. Wright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. So that was the book published by Richard L. Wright. Yes. So what was the article? Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientific journal, the article, had ever published the work of college students. So that time he was a college student and he and some of his friends, those who were studying along with him, those children, those students had made this important scientific journal, Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. So it was during the time of their college days. In sports, that would be like making a big league of the age of 15 and hitting a run your first time at a bat. For Richard L. Wright, it was the first in a long string of achievements in science and other fields. And it all started with the butterfly. So at the age of maybe 15 to in between 15 and 17, this great article was produced. And it was the first time in the life of Richard that attaining that position. That means he had been started his research for finding out with the butterflies. Yes. An only child, he is the only child. Wright grew up north of Reading Peninsula. There wasn't much I could do there, he said. Only reading. His only work is reading. He said, I certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one. But there was one thing I can do, collect things. So he don't have any other habits. That means like other students are playing football or cricket. He don't play, go or spend his time for that. Other than that, he used to collect things, whatever comes in his sight. That means it can be anything. And also at the same time, reading habit. So he did and did he ever. So till the last of his life, he did only these things. That means having curiosity to get the things and to find out from that. Understood? And at the same time reading books. Beginning in kindergarten in the LKG or play school, Ebright collected butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. So from very early time itself, when he was a child only, when he was in the play school only, he was having the habit of collecting butterflies. Even now also some children, when we see butterfly, the curiosity is there to go after them, isn't it? So naturally it happens with the children. So when he was only a small age, he was having that curiosity to go after these butterflies and collect them. He also collected rocks, fossils and coins. What are the things he collected? Rocks, fossils and coins. He became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing at night. The astronomer also looking at the stars and sitting, and while watching many things goes through his mind. Understood? So very early time itself he was having all the curiosity of collecting things from wherever he could get it, and at the same time going after the butterflies and looking at the stars in the sky. From the first he had a diving curiosity along with a bright mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. So who was after him? Who helped him to do the same? His mother. His mother also was having the same interest. So she was after him. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipment, and helped him in many other ways. So she is the responsible person who had helped him with all the instruments, whatever he needed for his scientific approach. Understood? I was his only companion until he started school, his mother said. So she was the only companion, friend, mother, everybody is she, all in all. After that I could bring home friends for him. But at night we just did things together. Richie was my whole life after his father died when Richie was in 3rd grade. So when he was studying in the 3rd class, he lost his father. His father death happened at that time. And after that, mother is the only person who had brought him up, isn't it? So she was after him for each and everything. She is a friend, guide and a mother. And learn he did. He earned the top grades in school. On everyday things he was just like every other kid, his mother said. That means he was as usual as every ordinary child. By the time he was in the 2nd grade, when he started in the 2nd class, Ebright has collected all 25 species of butterflies. How many? 25 species. Collected about 25 species of butterfly when he was in the 2nd grade across the hometown. So he used to go with his mother all the nearby places. How can I clear on? Okay. So now he had made about the 25 species of butterfly. He has collected about 25 species of butterflies only when he had entered the 2nd grade. See the following taxes. So the table is given over there. That means species and subspecies of butterflies collected in 6 weeks in reading. White edge hairsteen, Acadian hairsteen, bronze copper, big copper, purplish copper, eastern tailed blue, Melissa blue, silvery blue. Then wood nymphs and satyrs, eye brown wood nymph. Then monarchs, monarch or milkweed, whites and sulphurs, Olympia, cloudless sulphur, European cabbage. Then brush-footed butterflies, variegated fritillary, Harris checker post, pearl crescent, morning clock, painted lady, Buckeye, Viceroy, white admiral, red spotted purple and huckberry. So all these lessons are, these are the varieties of butterflies. That probably would have been the end of my butterfly collecting, he said. But then my mother got me a children's book called The Travels of Monarch 10. That book, which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So then, now he started. So now he stopped his collecting of variety of species of butterflies, and he now engaged only in one form of butterfly, that is Monarch 10. The travel of Monarch 10, and he now started the migration of butterflies. Migration of butterflies. Especially which one? Monarch. Monarch butterflies migration, understood, to Central America. Oh. Now he started studying under this topic, that is migration of butterflies. Which butterflies? Monarch butterflies. At the end of the book, readers are invited to help study butterfly migrations. Migrations means to move from one place to another. They were asked to tag butterflies. So now we will see how are these butterflies being, how are they migrated to one place to another, that is Central America, isn't it? And how are the Central America? Yes. Then how are they identified that they are the monarch butterflies? For that, what they are doing? They are tagging. Tag for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Albert's mother wrote to Dr. Urquhart and asked, and soon Everett was attacking light adhesive tags to the wings of monarch. So they will put the tag on the wings of the monarch butterflies. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to dog. And while they are going, wherever they used to settle, there if they are noticed, the tag is being noticed by somebody, it has to be informed to Dr. Urquhart. Understood now? Urquhart, yes. That is the how the monarch butterflies are being identified and how the research was going under those butterflies. The butterfly collecting season around reading lasts 6 weeks in late September. If you are going to chase them one by one, chase means to go after them, you won't catch very many. That means we are not able to catch them, because as soon as we are at the back of them, they will fly, isn't it? So the next step for Everett was to raise a flock of butterflies. That means he has to himself find a solution to get all those butterflies. So for that, what he had to do? He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them in a basement through their life cycle from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. So now he has to collect a female monarch butterfly and make her lay eggs, and those eggs has to be gone through all the life circle of the butterflies. That means eggs, then caterpillar, then pupa, then finally coming to the butterfly stage. So the life circle of the butterfly has to be gone under this monarch female butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly. So now he will get sufficient butterfly for his own purpose. Then he would tag the butterflies and let them. Then he will put the tags on the wings of the butterflies and they will be sent for Central America. For several years, his basement was home to thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. For this experiment was continued for many years. Eventually, finally, I began to lose interest in tagging butterfly. Finally, he got that interest had gone, isn't it? He started losing the interest of tagging the butterflies. It is tentacles and there is not much feedback, but because only the work what he was doing was going on, but feedback was not coming in such a manner. For that he could not go through his process. In all the time I did it, he laughed. Only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured and they were not more than 75 miles from where I lived. That means only at a very little distance the butterfly had gone and the tag had come, the information of the tag had come to him, and that was not very far away, it was only very near. That is why he lost the interest of tagging the butterflies. Then in the 7th grade, now he came in the 7th class. He got a hint of what real science is when he entered a country science fair and lost. It was really a sad feeling to sit there and not get anything while everybody else had won something. That means he had understood the truth. Sitting in one place, we are not able to capture anything. For that what we have to go? We have to go, or we have to move out of our place. We also have to go and find. Instead of sitting and waiting for somebody to send, we have to go and find ourselves. This he had studied when he had gone to a fair. His entry was sliders of frog tissues which he slowed under a microscope. So he was doing the microscopic of the frog tissues. He realized the winner had tried to do real experiment, not simply make a neat display. So he was only doing a display of the finding of the, or looking at the frog tissues through a microscope. But on the other hand, his friend was doing the experiment and proving that to the people. So he understood the difference, sitting in one place and displaying, and the other one doing the experiment. So which is more profitable? Doing the experiment, isn't it? That is why he said he had studied in the science fair. What is the real science? Already and that person had won. Already the competitive spirit that drives Richard Ebright was appearing. I knew that for the next year's fair I would have to do a real experiment. So from that science fair he had studied a lesson that for the next fair he has to become a winner. So what he has to do? He has to find an experiment. Instead of showing display of anything, he has to do something and make the people aware about it. The subject I knew most about was the insect work I had been doing in the past several years. So the great experiment what he can do is based on what? Based on insects. So because he was doing insects, especially on butterfly, it is an insect, isn't it? So he was doing that for many years, and in between he had stopped a little while, isn't it? So he thought he now will do experiment on insects. For this 8th grade project, Ebright tried to find the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. So the caterpillars are, monarch caterpillars are living only for few years. After that they are being killed by an insect, viral disease. Ebright thought the disease might be carried by a beetle. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetle. I did not get any real result, he said, but I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment. This time I won. So he had done that experiment. That means behind the death of the monarch caterpillar, one beetle is there, and he had tried with that beetle how it is being process has been going for the death of the monarch caterpillar. So that experiment was showed in front of the people, and there he had been awarded. The next year his science fair project was testing the theory that victory butterflies copy monarchs. So the first one of the monarch caterpillars, now coming to the viceroy butterflies. Viceroy butterflies. Viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. The theory was that viceroys look like monarchs. So both are looking appearance, both are same, because monarchs don't taste good to birds. Viceroys on the other hand do taste good to birds. So birds eat which one? Viceroy monarchs, but other monarchs birds do not eat because their taste is not good. So the more they look like monarch, but both are looks like the same, the less likely they are to become a bird's dinner. So when the birds are looking, both are similar, but only the tasty one, which one? Viceroy monarchs, only that is being eaten by the birds, others are not being eaten. A bright project was to see whether in fact birds could eat monarchs. So now he wanted to find out whether the birds, the birds are eating the monarch caterpillars also, because they don't have a taste. He found that a starting would not eat ordinary bird food. It would eat all the monarchs it could get. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the science country fair. So then he started experimenting whether because the birds do not eat monarch caterpillars because they don't have a good taste. Only viceroy monarchs are having the good taste and it is the food for the birds. So now he wanted to find out whether the birds will eat or not. For that he had conducted experiments, and in the science fair there also he had won the award. And in the zoology division also he became the winner. In his second year in high school, now he had entered the high school. Richard High School, 9th class, up to 8th only all these experiments were going on. See how much clever he was when he was a child itself. These all experiments had been conducted and he had been studied about more than 25 species of butterflies, their migration and also the tagging of the butterflies and how it becomes the food of the bird. So all these experiments based on the insects. And in between he had one in the science fair also. First time he has lost, but he found out what is the result for his loss, and then he started doing the experiments and he was success. So this all happened only from his childhood to the class 8. Now he had entered to the high school. Richard Bright began the research that led to the discovery of an unknown insect hormone. Now he is coming to study about the hormone of an unknown insect. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. So, indirectly it was connected with the life of cells. The question he tried to answer was simple. What is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? That is 20 tiny gold spots. Spots on a monarch pupa. That is under monarch butterflies. Understood? Everyone assumed the spot was just ornamental. So everyone said these tiny gold spots which can be seen on the wings of the monarch butterflies, they are only their beauty, making that butterfly seems to be beauty. So everyone said the spots are making it more beautiful. Bright said. But Dr. Urquhart did not believe it. He did not believe it. He wanted to know what is the special about this 20 tiny? So not only 1 or 2, there are about 20 tiny spots. This project won a bright first place in the country fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. So first time when he had entered the high school, he got the first prize and at the same time an entry for the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for zoology. He also got a chance to work during the summer at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. At the high school junior, Richard Albright continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. Still he continued doing the research under the same pupa, that is monarch butterflies. In the second year, he went a step further. He grew cells from a monarch wing in a culture. He started doing culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scales only if they are let the hormone from the gold spot. So from this tiny gold spot, what is being erected? Hormones are erected, and because of that hormone only the cells can be divided. Understood? So is that a gold spot having a work on the development of the butterfly? Yes, they are having the work on the part. They are having the part for the development of the butterfly. Not it is not adding for its beauty. Understood? That project won first prize for zoology at the International Fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the Army Laboratory and at the laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. The following summer, after his freshman year at Harvard University, Albright went back to the laboratory of the development of agriculture, did more work on the hormone from the gold spot. So still he was doing the research for this from these tiny gold spots. Understood? Because he had already studied that they have a path for the division of the cells. A year and a half later, during his junior year, Albright got the idea for his new theory about cell life. So from there it had started the research for the cell. It came while he was looking at an X-ray photo of the chemical structure of a hormone. When he saw those photos, Albright didn't shout "Eureka" or even "I have got it." But he believed that along with his findings about insect hormones, photos gave him the answer to one of the biology puzzle. How the cell can read the blueprint of DNA. DNA is a substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is a blueprint for life. Albright and his college roommate James R. Wrong worked all that night during drawing pictures and constructing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. Now they have to show the whole process, isn't it? For that they started drawing and making models. Together they later wrote the paper that explained the theory. Then they wrote the theory paper also. Surprising no one who knew him, Richard Albright graduated from Harvard with highest honors. Second in his class of 1510. Albright went on to become a graduate student. Researcher at Harvard Medical School. Then he began doing experiments to test his theory. If the theory proves correct, it will be a big step towards understanding the process of life. It might also lead to new ideas for preventing some types of cancer and other. So, this is not only beneficial for the insect, but it is more beneficial for human beings also. That means for certain diseases like cancer and other diseases also, it is a preventive step. this is possible because of Ebrard's scientific curiosity. His high school research into the purpose of the spot on a monarch pupa eventually led him to his theory about the cell life. So, only having that curiosity which he had possessed from his very early life after the butterflies. So, it had started from those butterflies and finally reached to the cell life. Understood? To the life of cells. From that insect, the research or the curiosity started from that collecting of the butterflies, and from there it came up to the life of the cell. Understood? Ebrard also became a champion debater and public speaker and a good canoeist and all-around outdoors person. He is also an expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. In high school, Richard Ebrard was a straight A student because learning was easy. Because the curiosity is there, studying became more interesting to him. He turned a lot of his energy towards the debating and model United Nations Cups. He also found debating is a good thing because we can prove. In order to prove the subject, we have to do the experiments, isn't it? For that, we will be doing the research. So, debating is a good thing. Someone to admire: Richard A. Werner, his social studies teacher and advisor to both the clubs. Mr. Werner was the perfect person for me then. He opened my mind to new ideas. Richard would always give that extra effort. Mr. Werner said, what pleased me was, here was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing debate research, besides doing all his research with butterflies and his other interests. So, avoiding all that, only debate interest was more curious in him. Richard was competitive, that competitive mind was there, understood? Continued, but not in a bad sense he spread. Richard wasn't interested in winning for winning's gain or winning to get a prize. So, actually he was not doing to get the reward or the award, making the people understand about it. Rather he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. For the right reason he wants to be the best. And that is one of the ingredients in the making of a scientist. Start with the first-rate mind, add curiosity and mix in the wind to win the right season. So, what are the ingredients to become a good scientist? First-rate mind, then curiosity, third one, will to win. So, when these 3 are added, the taste added, we can make a good scientist. When these 3 ingredients are added, what we can make out of it? Scientist. Ebrard had these qualities from the time the book The Travels of Monckton opened the world of science to him. Richard Ebrard had never lost his scientific curiosity. So, till the end of his life, the curiosity behind science was his main importance. So, he gave more importance to that. Understood? We are coming to the end of the lesson. The lesson is over and I think only 2-3 questions are there. It will be sent to you. Okay, thank you.